Probably one of the most important things I've learned in life came from a job that I once partaked in. It was a construction job. It was demolition, really. And it was on a job down in La Jolla, and we were working on an apartment building. And I don't know how well I can draw on the whiteboard, but so this is the apartment building. It was about 8 flights up. We're on rickety scaffolding. This is a very cheap business. And at the very, very top, of course, I had to be, and I had to use a hammer. This is very poorly drawn stuff. I'm just trying to create a picture. So this is supposed to be an 8-story building, and it doesn't look like it. This is all cement, concrete, giant swimming pool right there. The little boards, and they're like these little wooden planks that maybe like, I think about 2.5 inches thick. And when you're walking on them, they like sway underneath you. So as you're walking across the scaffolding, you're like walking on the moon or something like that. But anyways, I'm at the very top, and I've got to sit right there, and I've got to hammer out a chunk of wall. Really, it was all the way down, but I had to sit at the very top. No guards, no braces, no nothing, and it was just straight concrete down here, down below. First time being on scaffolding, and I had to be way at the top, and it was extremely scary. I didn't want to stand up, but I had to reach way out here. One of the guys that I worked with, his name was Brian. He's been doing this for like 2 years, and so he was getting real fed up with me sitting there complaining and sighing and huffing and puffing. So he just walked over to me. First of all, this guy, he drives a big flatbed truck where we dump all of our material in when we're done. But anyways, he's this guy that would drive the flatbed full of heavy stuff, and he'd be driving with his knees, smoking bowls all at the same time. And so I had to ride with this guy. But anyways, he comes up to me, and he grabs me by the collar, and he drops me over the edge. And I'm literally like at like a 90-degree angle hanging off the edge. And he starts jumping up and down, shaking me up and down. He's like, "Look, you're alive. You're not falling. You're not falling." And of course, I'm freaking out, sweating like crazy, and I'm trying to grab onto him. He's like, "Nope, let go, let go." You know. And he pulled me back up, and he kind of danced around on the stuff. You know, we're all shaking, and he's like, "Look, you're alive, dude. Nothing happened." And it kind of made me realize that, you know what, people have survived way crazier things than really that I'm afraid of. And when I was little, I was always kind of like one of those scared kids. "Oh, I don't want to ever go into surgery. I don't ever want to, go on a roller coaster. I don't ever want to, really pathetic stuff." And I guess, I don't know, doing this kind of thing, I just kind of figured, you know what, I can survive pretty much a lot more than I think I can. I mean, working another job down in La Jolla, I had to carry big panes of glass throughout a building, and this other guy that would smoke bowls all the time, they're a huge glass, maybe a little bit bigger than this whiteboard, about an inch thick, and it wasn't tempered, so it wouldn't break off in little pieces. It would break up into big shards. And we're carrying it through this one doorway into a hallway, and we're trying to set it down. And he goes to set it down, and he's got the corner of it wedged between his head and shoulder, and he goes to let go of it because I don't think he knew what he was doing. But it hit the wall, and a big piece broke out, and it slashed my arm kind of down. And it sucked. Big weight, strips of meat showing. But you know what? Another little lesson. Like, hey, I survived. It kind of sucked for the rest of the day, but pretty much, yeah, just kind of learning from jobs here and there that, I don't need to really be brave as people have, survived many things. But anyways, I'm just learning new and more important things about myself. I kind of always went through little phase in my life, being really little, seeing the Jurassic Park movie, wanting to be a paleontologist, and then seeing Star Wars, wanting to be a Jedi, obviously that. But, really, and then I started reading a whole bunch of books. I started reading Stephen King when I was in, elementary school, doing reports on stuff, and I wanted to be a writer, and I realized that it was too much work. So I kind of skipped over that, and then I wanted to be a cop, and then I came to my good senses. But, I became a construction worker, and I realized that I like working with my hands, taking things apart, putting things together, people too at the same time. So really, I'm just learning more and more about myself. Figuring out new things that I'm really proud of myself about. I kind of think I'm a spitting image of my dad, so I'm probably going to become work for the government, be a government contractor. He used to work for the Olympics, doing a whole bunch of computer stuff, and I used to work for Boeing, and so I'm thinking that's probably the direction I'm going to take. But for the most part, I'm still figuring out how I am and who I am. So if you all do the same, figure out new things, get held over scaffolding. It's a lot of fun. This is the kind of stuff, by the way, that you're supposed to be wearing at the Home Depot. Kind of learning throughout things that you should value, the people that you know. Obviously, scary things like that can happen. Next minute, you're not even going to see a guy anymore. So this happened along to one of my buddies working at Home Depot. He just got laid off the other day, fired for some BS. But yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm valuing